Hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome to VHS Play, where we are going to be playing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest for just an episode. I wanted to do something special for reasons. It's a holiday here in the US on Monday, so usually I get my recording done over the weekend, and that's messing with things. So I just kind of want to take a quick detour into Mystic Quest. As you can see, it's a 1992 Square Enix game. And by Square Enix, I just mean regular old Square. Excuse me. So, come on, buttons. Alright, so this game actually starts off really fast, so I'm going to sit here on the screen for a moment. Benjamin is the canonical name of this hero. This game means a lot to me. It's something that I played as a kid, and that was kind of the perfect way to play it. Like, a lot of people have just some sort of malice towards Mystic Quest of just like, oh, it's the worst Final Fantasy. Honestly, I really love it. And like, right off the bat, we are just jumping straight into the action here. By the way, I'm doing voices, so bear with me. My village is gone. What on earth is going on? This place is going to sink any second. Let's climb up quick. I don't actually have control over this yet. Press the B button and jump across. So this is a great little tutorial. You can't do anything except for hit the B button. I like it. And, you know, it feels action heavy. It's just like, oh geez, I just barely avoided that. But yeah, we're just jumping right in. Look over there. That's the Focus Tower, once the heart of the world. An old prophecy says the Vile Four will steal the power and divide the world behind four doors. At that time, the night will appear. The prophecy has now come true. Four monsters have locked the doors of the Focus Tower and escaped with the keys. They're draining light from the four crystals of Earth, and the world is in chaos. The people are in desperate need of help. Benjamin, only you can save the crystals and the world. Me? Yes, you, Benjamin. Only you could be the knight spoken of in the prophecy. Look out, a monster! So, a bit before I started this fight, it's really easy to lose this fight. It all comes down to random chance because all you've got is attack, and he's got attacks. If you miss, then that can set you back. If he crits you, you just die. And that's that. And that's how I started this game. Like when I started playing this game as a kid, that's what happened. Just, yep, there we go. I love this game. I love this game so much. So, at some point, like, I actually wanted this to be the second game that I played after Kingsfield, and like, I sat down to do a recording and did like a test recording, and it just did not go well at all, and I'm not going to do the entire game because I just don't think I can make it work. But yeah, it's just, this also happened in that recording. I love that this game just can kill you outright. But that's your consequence for dying. Just try again. Like, it's such a dumb thing that can happen in the first fight. And there you go. You get a critical this time. Everything's fine. Seems I was right. At last I found a true knight. But you said you were sure I was the only one. Well, it was more of a guess. Just forget it. Tell me where I can find the crystals. It's up to you to find them. This place is becoming dangerous. Follow me to the level forest. Oh, okay. Gotta get out of here. Who is that guy anyway? And there goes that entire mountain. Straight on into level forest. Okay, so you just saw that little swing, like. This is They took some inspirations from... Well, did they? What Zeldas would have done things. Chop down. Did this come out before? Okay, now I'm second guessing myself whether or not this drew inspiration from Link to the Past or not. There you are. What do you think I should do? Oh, sorry, the wrong voice. There you are. What do you think I should do first? Save the Crystal of Earth. See ya. What? But yeah, this game just goes. It's so speedy and quick and simple, and that's exactly what you want when you are a kid and you're not the best at reading, and you're also an adult not the best at reading. That boulder is blocking my way to town. Would you shove it aside? So this is another, like, really just slick tutorial bit. Just, there you go. Oops. Nope. You're stuck there, dude. Okay, so yeah, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, also known... Oops. Let me, I guess I have to actually let him out. Thank you. If you want to go through to the forest, find Kaylee in... I can't read. Find Kaylee in Forestria and show her this. Receive the tree wither. And now he's just going to stand there. Thank you. Have you seen Kaylee yet? You'll notice this chest respawns, and you can just get infinite cure potions. And that is clearly by design. Again, like, this game, it's also known as Final Fantasy USA, at least in Japan. I'm not sure where else. But this game was made to be extremely accessible and welcoming to new players. Like, players who didn't have a lot of, like, you know, game knowledge was still new. Like, I don't know, the game literacy, that's the term I'm looking for. Like, people were not necessarily game literate. Like, Square made this game to bring new players into RPGs. Like, they wanted to introduce role-playing games to a wider audience. And, like, you know, a lot of people will malign this game for being so simplistic and, like, quite possibly, oh hey, we're in Kaylee's house, quite possibly, like, insulting to Western gamers. I don't know, but the point is, this game was made for kids, and it was made for young people. It was made to bring people into, like, it was meant to be welcoming and colorful and bright and simple to get people in. I'm Kylie. You know, this is gonna get real rough here. I'm Kylie. There's a tree blocking the north exit of the low forest. I can chop down the tree, but monsters have taken over the forest, and I can't get to it. I can help you with that. Come on, let's go. Don't you go... I'm sorry. Don't you dare take Kaylee anywhere dangerous. Listen, Mom. Hey, that tree wither looks awful. How much the trees must be suffering. Okay, you win. Don't worry, Mom. Yeah. But yeah, like, look at this interface. Like, it's a bar chart. Like, your health is a bar. It's not numbers. It's not math. It's just, everything about this game is meant to be really welcoming to new players who have no experience with RPGs. And I love it. My husband, Captain... I'm really going to regret that voice. My husband, Mac, forgot his captain hat. I hope nothing happens. And more cure potions. But yeah, like, everything about this game, and, like, why I want to play it is just, like, I have a lot of great memories of this game. A monster can drain energy from a person. I'm really just a child. This is where I need to come up with, like, 6 different old people voices. That's not going to happen. Strange trees are growing in Level Forest. The Crystal of Earth is to the north in the Bone Dungeon. Not Bane Dungeon. But yeah, like, you have a bunch of really simple movement puzzles. I found Cure. That's very important. I forgot I could just do that and leave. Haha. Kaylee can talk to the tree spirits. but yeah, like, this game is just covered in nostalgia for me. Can you... I guess he's a real boy. Can you save all... What the heck? Can you save all 4 crystals? If you're tired, have a rest on that bed. Anyway, you can already kind of see why I didn't play this game and decided it wasn't going to work for a full series. The voices are already kind of a lot. Let me cut this. Let me cut this with my axe. We've got to reach the north exit. And this is the other reason why I didn't play this game through. Like, the battle system is extremely simple, so it's just... Oh, right, she's on auto. That's something this game does, is they put your party member onto auto originally. Like, just by default, your party member will do whatever they want to do. You have to manually change it to manual mode. I think it's just... Nope. It's one of these buttons. Right, you can just save anywhere. I always forget about that. But yeah, the battle system is extremely simplistic. It's just like you have attacks, you have a number of spells that you can use eventually. Right now I've only got Cure, and oh boy. Well, Kaylee beat me to the punch. But I'm better at it than her, apparently. Yeah, there's a lot of battles in this game, and the battle system's really simple. And quite frankly, I don't recommend playing this game without a turbo controller or something that you can just have it auto tap A for you, because there's a lot of battles. I don't even know if I'm going the right way, and if I'm not, then, well, dang. So, yeah, like, I have just a ton of great memories of this game. Like, we weren't even supposed to have this game. Like, my mom bought it for our cousin, and I think it was me. One of us opened it up in the car on the way home, thinking it was for us. Turns out it wasn't. At some point, somebody spilled blue Kool-Aid on the cartridge, and we had to, like, let it sit out and dry. And, like, there's just a lot of random memories associated with this game in particular, but also, like, this was my first actual Final Fantasy, like, as far as I can remember. Like, this is something that I, as a very young Bryce, could go and actually play this on my own and not require my brothers. Like, I don't remember exactly when it was I learned to read and all that stuff, and I don't know how much I had to get help with reading things for this game. I honestly don't know how much of that actually really mattered. Because this game is it's just so simple. This evil tree is what I was talking about. Ah.
Whoa, surprise.
He poisoned me just as he did the trees.
Minotaur. Let's fight a Minotaur. Not my defense. I need that. Dear me, stop missing. But, like, I mentioned that I wanted to play this game and do this for my channel, but I sat down, I recorded, like, the test episode stuff, and just decided it wasn't going to work. And then I put in the rest of the time to finish the game. Like, this is a 10-hour game.
Kaylee, what happened? I'll be okay as soon as I take elixir. That's in the sand temple.
Don't worry, I'll get it.
Then take my axe with you.
I'm totally mixing up voices. I'll be back. So alone. But yeah, this game has these battlefields, and they're just like 10 random battles. And yeah, you have to, like, there's gear at the bottom of them. If you do all the battles, then you get a reward. Sometimes it's just a bunch of experience. Sometimes it's just a bunch of, it's an item. Sometimes it's a bunch of money. But when I got to the first battlefield, that's when I decided this wasn't going to work, because it was just like, wow, this is real dull watching this play out of just fight after fight after fight. So, yeah, again, this is a special episode. That's it. But I love this game. Like, that's all it comes down to, is this game is really simple. I have just a ton of random associated memories with it. It's a 10-hour RPG, and it's an honest comedy. Sand Temple. And the soundtrack is just banging. I love this soundtrack so much. It's so good.
Empty?
Looking for some cure, kid? First of all, my name is Benjamin, and I'm looking for elixir. I'll sell you some for, say, 9,000 gold pieces. Well, whoa, that's way too much. Listen, kid, this stuff is precious, right? My allowance is only 2 gold a month. Then let's do it this way. I'm going to the bone dungeon to find treasure. You come with me and help. If I get the treasure, you get the elixir. Do I have any choice? When do we go? There's a battlefield nearby. Why don't you whack a few monsters there and maybe win something, kid? The name's Benjamin. But yeah, this game is just silly. It's cute, it's fun, it's simple. And you know what? We'll do this. Right, so I do in fact have a controller that has turbo and auto, and it's great. It's perfect for this game. I can just turn everything onto auto and let it just play out. The thing about this game is there's like no consequence for losing. All you have to do if you lose... Okay, so hold that thought. Notice this file that I'm on right now. 10 hours, 21 minutes. That is my file at the end of the game. This is really, seriously, a 10-hour game. Anyway, yeah, like this... There's no real... Nothing really happens if you lose. Like, what happens if you lose a fight is you just have the option... Oh, excuse me. You have the option to restart the fight. And that's it. Like, you just start at the beginning of that fight. No loss of anything. Now, you can be in a situation where you'll have to, like, reload because you went into a fight with just a bad situation. Like, I keep going into fights poisoned, and if I went into a fight with, like, no health whatsoever and, like, you know, enemies that are faster than me, screwed. And I'd have to reload whatever my last save was. But you can save anywhere. Like, right in front of the fight. So if you're going into a boss fight, you can just save right in front of him, and if anything bad happens, just, okay, reload. But yeah, this game, like, again, the thing about this game is it is made for children. It is made for newcomers. It is made for people who don't know the depth. Like, it's the kiddie pool of Final Fantasy. Like, it is meant as an introduction of just like, here's somewhere to get your feet wet. It is something to dive into and just have fun with. And I love it for that. I love how just welcoming this game is. That's the word I'm looking for. This game is just completely welcoming to new players. Be they just inexperienced or be they young, whatever. Like, it is just a wide open door saying, welcome, come into this wonderful world of strange frog and lizard creatures, some goodly knights, some weird guys named Tristram who want to sell you money, like sell you medicine. Hey kids, say no to drugs. But yeah, it's just, this game is just cute and silly and colorful and wonderful and welcoming. And I love it for that. So I just kind of wanted to show off some of it. And yeah, like, this game's great. This game is really good, and I really recommend it. Like, it's 10 hours long. That's it. Like, it's a short game. It is a very short game. It doesn't outstay its welcome. Like, the constant fights can get a little bit old. Like, when I did play this, at some point there were just a lot of fights that I started skipping because I just couldn't be bothered. And again, I don't recommend playing this game unless you have some way to, like, just hold down a button for Turbo A or something like that, because that makes it to where you can sit there and have a conversation or talk to yourself in an empty room while everything plays out. So there we go. Cleared out the dungeon, or the battlefield, and I got a charm, which has defense power 1. That's not helpful. But yeah, this is your gear. Like, let's go through these screens. You have your potions. Just do. That's it. You have all of your items. This is every item in the game fits into these. What is it, 16 slots? 1, 2, 3. 20 slots. You have 20 total different items in the game. Spells. Not a whole lot of them. And notice they're like in columns. You have 4 per column. It uses the kind of the old spells per day sort of system of, you have 5 casts of white spells. You have 2 casts of back spells. You have 0 casts of wizard spells. Tristram has 7 casts of white spells. I feel like one of these does have something important. Like Quake, maybe? No. You know, screw it. We're just... yeah. Alright, let's go ahead. Right, so now that I have Kylie's axe, I can chop down trees. I can switch weapons with L and R. And yeah, this game... there's not a lot to it. Like, there's not a lot for me to explain in this game. It's just like a bunch of random memories, and again, this game is accessible and welcoming, and it wants you to play it. And good gravy, the soundtrack to this is great. It's a very simple movement thing. Like, there's a bunch of puzzles in this game based off of this kind of overworld stuff, where there will be, I'm not going to get there in this recording, there's like an ice palace where there's these statues and they have like glowing eyes, and you stab them to like hit a button in a crevice. I think it like calls that out if you inspect if you have a look at it or inspect it or whatever. Or it might just be like a call out that happens. But you have the axe, which you can use to chop down trees and stuff. You end up, should in this dungeon get to one of the weapons, you end up with a claw that you can use to like climb walls that are marked very, very clearly of, this is where you can climb. And later on, here we go.
The door shield's shut. Well, here goes. Watch this.
Bam.
Aren't these something? I'll sell you some cheap. How about 50 explosives for 30 GP?
Sure. Learned to use bombs. But now that I have bombs, I can put them down and explode stuff. Like... There we go. Y is the button for switching between auto and manual. But yeah. Like, all of the enemies are on the map. You don't have random battles. I found a steel shield just because I was curious and went back and exploded a thing. Sure, I'll save because I accidentally hit that button. There we go. Look at all that defense power. One of the funnest things to do in this game is just jump everywhere. You just hold down B and you just keep jumping. Unless you're in a tunnel. But yeah, like, I have a ton of great memories of this game. It's one of those I really strongly recommend, and I feel like it kind of got a bad rap because it was so simple. And then you have just... Look at these creatures. They're like birdmen in diapers, is what it looks like. It's probably more of... What is that, loincloth? Great, I have bombs now. Bombs have the effect of they hit everything. They don't do much, like their damage is split across everything that you hit, but you have the ability to hit everything. Your sword is very pinpoint damage, like, let's go through the weapons, because I keep forgetting to hit that. Your axe is generally going to have more attack power than your sword. Your sword, I think, is more accurate than the axe. The bomb has great attack power, but it gets split out between the three different types. The claw is the other type of weapon here that I'm not going to get, and that has a ton of status effects. It's not the most powerful weapon, but it's also kind of the most powerful weapon because the highest level of them, like, there's 3 levels of each weapon. The highest, like, bombs don't change much. Bombs go from, you have a bomb that you just put on the ground to a bomb that you toss. Your axe, it's an axe. Your sword, it's a sword. It gets more powerful. And then you have the claw, which starts off with, like, it does poison and blind, maybe something else. And then, like, the next level adds in another couple status effects. And the last one adds in just a ton of status effects of just, like, it can do petrify, it can just kill outright, and it is a beast of a weapon and can just ruin things days. But it's all about using things correctly, and you can just switch weapons on the fly so that if you're in the middle of a fight and you want to, like, switch to, oh, we're fighting 3 things, let me get some damage out across everything. Okay, now let me finish them off with the axe. But yeah, like, this game is just a fantastically little, simple 2D top-down exploration, adventure, fun, role-playing game time. Like, the writing is super simple. Just like everything about this game is super simple and welcoming to new players. Like, I'm going to keep saying that because that's what's really important about this game. You never get ninja stars, by the way. Only Tristan gets those. But then you have, like, different enemies are weak to different things. Like, trees are weak to the axe. Worms are also weak to the axe. So, in a way, it's a little bit like Pokemon, sort of rock, paper, scissors, but, you know, not nearly as in-depth. I think skeletons might be weak against explosions. Yeah. I don't know. But, like, I cannot stress it enough. I love this game for what it is. It is silly, it is fun, it is cute, it is simple, and it's an honest comedy. And you don't get a lot of that in games. Like, there's not a lot of straight comedies, and if they are, then a lot of them tend to be less than kid-friendly. I don't know what he's guarding, but I don't think it's that important.
You also notice I have been poisoned the entire time in this dungeon, and it's not making that big of a difference. Like, we're having just a nice time, a nice, simple time, and for the most part, I'm just hitting A. Yeah. Explosions. Doo-doo-doo. So just kind of want to show off that little bit of, like, again, it's really simple mechanics, and like these are simple puzzles of just like, oh, I can't walk here, okay, I guess I have to like fight these two creatures instead. And then, yeah, I love how, like, all of these different enemies have these, like, initial states of just like, ooh, I'm so menacing, I'm a skeleton, rawr. And then they get injured and their skull starts falling off. They're just like, oh, no. It's just... it gives you that clear indication that a lot of games just don't give you. Thanks, Jim. Like, that injured animation is just like, all of them, almost every one of those animations, like, it's not even an animation, it's a sprite swap. Like, it's so simple, but a lot of them are so great because everything just looks so utterly shocked that you are doing so much damage to it, of just like, they're just, I don't know, like, it really is just like a, hold on, wait, what? You did what? You hit me for how hard? Okay, seeds, those are important. I think they recover, like, uses of magic. Alright, we're gonna see if I can get to the first boss in this. Because we're almost through this dungeon. But like, again, this game just kind of has a lot of poor reviews. Like, it didn't review well at the time. It was just like, this is too simple. This is not, you know, a thinking man's role-playing game. It was a game for kids, and oh no, let's oh no, oh no, oh no. Well, thanks, Tristan. But yeah, like, look at this Minotaur. He's so shocked that he's injured. He's just so appalled that this even happened. I love it. I love the art in this game. Like, I love all the individual components of the game. Like, I love how simple the writing is. I love just how silly it is a lot of the time. I love this art so much. Like, it's just endearing. Like, you know, it's soft edges. Yeah, it's just, again, this is a game for children, so like they made it, they thought through so hard on that. Aha, joke's on you. When you knocked me out, it got rid of my poison. Yes, Quake. We now have the quick spell. You just find spells in chests. That's just how this game goes. It doesn't actually tell you, like, anything about what happens. I do really wish this game had, like, descriptions of what things were. Because that is something desperately lacking. This was back in the day when, you know, games had manuals, and manuals actually, like, told you a ton of stuff. So I'm sure all of the item descriptions were in the manual. But I don't have that anymore, unfortunately. There you go. Look at that. Look at that boss.
You'll never beat me. I have the power of the crystal of earth.
Behold, the Flamerous Rex? Flamerous Rex. Alright, we only have 2 uses of Quake. But let's do it. Oof. Tristan, I really could use the backup here. Strong against poison and paralysis. That's the other thing. Like, this game just flat out tells you what it's... Look at that. That attack animation was great. This game is great. Like, that's really what this is coming down to. I love this game so much. And that's really why I couldn't do, like, a full series on this, because it's just me rambling about how much I love this game for the same 5 reasons over and over. And me having a great time, and I don't think this is really all that enjoyable to watch, probably. But, you know what? Hopefully you've enjoyed this round. This little one-off here, because I sure have. I love this game. Like, I played this game, like, what, 6 months ago? Something like that? Just all the way through, because... like, the recording and turning this into a series, like, it turned out, yeah, this was not going to work as a full series, but I just had so much fun, I had to play the entire game again. And again, like, this big boss, look at all the different little sprites he has for his levels of damage. Like, he was one big ol' scary chomp. He was a really big, scary, red bone dragon dinosaur thing, and now he's just a pile of bones. That's it. Right, I just remembered, the life spell also just does a flat-out cure. So if you cast life on somebody and they end up not dying before the spell goes off, they just recover a ton of health. It might even be just flat-out full health. Hey, if you have flashing stuff, be careful, there's flashing about to happen. Look, the crystal. Wait, nope, wrong voice. Look, the crystal. Never mind that, get a load of this stuff. That lovely preview of weapons to come. You don't get that until a real late game. I'll keep this. Oh, here's what you wanted. Received elixir. Curing potions, explosives. The sand coin that was real bad if you forget to take that with you. Look, I've got to go. See you around, kid. Alright, so we're going to be wrapping this up. I'm still playing this game. like, I love this game. I'm not explaining it. Like, I think I've explained about all there is to explain about it. Honestly, like, this game is really simple. There's just not a lot to it at all. Like, this is the game. This is it. It's just you do like these very simple like navigation and item usage puzzles. Oh right, this is a nice little secret. I think. Is it a secret? We'll call it a secret. You just walk in and out of this room and just keep getting bombs. It makes you smell like those sorts of things of just like the walking out of the room to reset the chest, or like walking out of the dungeon or whatever to reset chests and walking back in. It makes you feel smart as a kid of just like, aha, I've outsmarted you, game. And it's clearly designed that that's intentional. Of they want you to have easy access to all of the items that you need in order to beat the game. They want you to beat this game. Like, they want to have as little in the way of as possible of you actually completing this game, but it still provides like for haha. It seems I've set myself up for failure here. Like so much of this is just like, as a kid, it makes you feel really cool and really smart figuring this stuff out for yourself. And like, that's almost impossible for me to separate from the rest of this game. Because, you know, I did play this when I was a kid, and that those memories are just stuck in there. And like, everything I felt about that game then, I just kind of, you know, it just trickles back in. Like, it's just, this game fills me with joy of just like, oh man, this game. I remember figuring out, like, there's a puzzle later. The you know, the exploration type puzzle, use an item here puzzles of, they only do this once. There's some panel in a floor somewhere that is just different, and like, you can fall lower into this dungeon, and it's clear that you need to fall into a very specific place that should be where that panel is. But it took me, like, as a kid, it took me a long time to figure out how to solve it. But like, I did that on my own as a kid, and I felt so cool and great and smart and just like, hot dang, I did it. How cool. All on my own. And yeah, I like that dungeon is, it's full of like a lot of small puzzle type things that are just, they're not challenging as an adult coming into this game with, you know, so many years of role-playing experience. But as a kid who had been like, who had encountered through his brothers these, you know, I'm going to call it Dragon Warrior because that's what it was back in my day. But yeah, like playing, kind of getting roped in to have like a character named after me. Look, I'm a little girl again. And all the old people are now not old. Hooray. Go save the crystals. Good.
Thanks for saving us and the trees.
But yeah, like, I'd had the mild experience of my brothers played games, and
hurry and give Kiwi the medicine.
Will do.
Benjamin, is it really you?
Here's the elixir.
Thank you. Now I can visit Spencer in Aquaria.
Why don't I go to Aquaria first and look around? Where is it?
It's through the focus tower and to the northeast. Take care.
And also those potions.
Bye now.
But all right, let's wrap this up. Like, so much of this game is just me in love with this because I figured things out as a kid, and that's made me feel super cool and super smart. And like, yeah, coming at this game with somewhat years of experience in the being used to JRPGs and a lot of game mechanics, like it's different than coming at this fresh and not knowing like how these things work. Like, coming at this as a kid, it was the coolest thing ever. And like, look at how colorful and gorgeous this game is, and listen to this music. Just, it's so calm and great, and like, the battle music is stellar. Love it. Like, look up the soundtrack for this game. That's a great work list. Like, just, it is a great soundtrack to just listen to whenever. But yeah, like, all in all, this game is just, it's full of memories for me, and I really love it, and I really wanted to share it, and I cannot bring myself to do a full series on it because this is, you've been watching this video, you saw how this went of it, just me yelling and just rambling about how much I love this game. It's just like, oh my god, this game's so good, and me going through and just like, you know, turning A onto auto and just walking through fights and not doing much, and like occasionally doing a little, oh hey, look at this little puzzle thing that's not that much of a puzzle because they told you the solution and made it very like visually clear. But again, as a kid, that makes you feel awesome figuring it out for yourself, and that's so cool. And I really love this game, and I really love everything about what this game was trying to do, of being welcoming to new players. That's what it comes down to, is this game was made for a very specific purpose, and that was to welcome new players. And this game welcomed me into the role-playing genre, like wide open arms. It was just like, hey, this is a game for you. Like, you're young, you hardly know how to read, and like, that's I don't know, like, yeah, that's what it comes down to, is this game was made for me. And like, there were no huge leaps of logic, and there wasn't like a grand open giant world, and there weren't puzzles involving like complicated routing of, from here, walk X many steps right, X many steps south, X many steps north, etc., etc. Like, stuff like Dragonware was really cool, but like, there's a lot in that game that is just like, you need reading comprehension and like the ability to write and take notes and like think about things in a more complicated manner. And this game was made for the inexperienced. It was made for children, and it was perfect for me at the age that I found it, and I love it. I love this game so much, and I really just wanted to share that. Like, I just wanted to get this game some attention and just some gush about it, because it's lovely. Like, this game is just a nice time, and like, revisiting it as an adult is just, you know what, sure, I can throw a couple hours a day, and like, I can throw a week at this game and be done with it, and there we go. It just takes a week, 10 hours, we're done, and that's it. And it's just a nice time and a lovely time, and just, it's very chill, it's very simple, it's very relaxed, and it's just, I love this game for what it is, and I love that this game is exactly what it wanted to be. Okay, let's sign off. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Next time, we'll get back to Dino Crisis. Thanks for letting me indulge myself on this. Have yourself a lovely evening.